Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Solid100 here, coming at you guys today with a Yugioh Deck Profile, and today's video is part 2 of my Machine Madness Value Box Challenge. If you guys don't know what I mean, I made a part 1 of this video about a week ago. I suggest you go check out that video first if you haven't already. Link will be in the description bar below, as well as an annotation somewhere on the screen. But anyways, I'll repeat to you guys what my challenge is anyways, but I suggest you go check out part 1 before you continue on this part 2 video. Alright, today's video is basically part 2 of my Machine Madness Value Box Challenge. Part 1 had, the challenge was build a single deck out of one Machine Madness Value Box, build a single deck out of those 3 structure decks provided in the Machine Madness Value Box. And I also went over on what's in each of those structure decks in part 1 as well. I'll leave screen picture links to what's in those structure decks in the description bar as well. But anyways, take a single Machine Madness Value Box, build a single deck out of the 3 structure decks provided in one value box. And for today's part 2 of that challenge, instead of one value box, I'm going to be building a single deck out of 3 Machine Madness value boxes instead of just one. So what that basically means is you have three Cyber structure decks, 3 Machina structure decks, 3 Ancient Gear structure decks, taking every bits and pieces from 3 copies of each of those decks and build a single deck out of all 9 structure decks, basically, to add up the total of structure decks you get for buying 3 Machine Madness value boxes. What you're looking at right now is the single Machine Madness value box deck, and it still works pretty great for just using one Machine Madness value box. But anyways, I'm going to go through with what I came up with for using 3 value boxes, and I'll explain my card choices afterwards. Excuse me. Alright, for starters, we have 3 Cyber Dragons, 3 Cyber Dragon Cores, 2 Cyber Dragon Drays, 2 Cyber Valleys, 2 Machina Fortresses, 3 Machina Gear Frames, 2 Ancient Gear Yugioh Dragons, 1 Solar Windjammer, and that's it for the monsters. For spells, we have 1 Limiter Removal, 1 Machine Duplication, 1 Power Bond, 1 Solidarity. For multiples, we have 2 Cyber Repair Plants, 2 Shrinks, 2 Evolution Bursts, and 3 MSTs. For traps, we have 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 1 Cyber Network, 1 Metamorph, 2 Call of the Haunted, 2 D-Prisons, and 2 Traps None. And then the extra deck is just triplicates of Cyber Dragon Nova and Cyber Twin Dragon. Hence the fact for having 3 Machine Madness value boxes. Alright guys, so this is my build for using 3 value boxes, and let me explain some of the card choices here. Like the other deck, the main monster I'm going to probably be going into a lot than any of the other monsters out on the field or in the deck. Cyber Dragon is the main monster I'm going to be going into a lot. I see myself going into Cyber Dragon a lot more than I see myself using a Fortress in this deck. Mainly because there's so many options for me to get Cyber Dragon out on the field, either through Core's effect or through Machine Duplication's effect, or through Network's effect, or any of my other special summon abilities to summon out a Cyber Dragon. But the main 2100 beater that's going to be coming out a lot in this deck, easy to summon. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, easy 2100 beater, and you gain advantage from there. The 3 cores are pretty self-explanatory. He's the main Cyber Spell and Trap Searcher. Once normal summon, you add a Cyber Spell or Trap to your hand from your deck. So you can add Cyber Repair Plant or Network if they're not in your hand already. And also, while you have no monsters out on the field, you can banish core from your graveyard and special summon a Cyber Dragon from your deck while you have no monsters out on the field. Makes for a nice little combo for using all three of these Cyber Dragons. You banish core, special summon Cyber Dragon, normal summon Dre. Dre's effect will activate, making all Cyber Dragons level 5. And then for an easy rank 5 Xyz summon for Cyber Dragon Nova. Excuse me. But 3 Cyber Dragon cores works pretty well, and it's a really nice new Cyber Dragon added to the Cyber Dragon archetype. I only chose to run 2 Cyber Dragon Dre's instead of 3 because I don't want to draw into them too much, because I doubt I'll have enough resources to have multiple Cyber Dragons out on the field. But when I do, when I have at least a Cyber Dragon in hand and a Dre in hand, it's an instant Cyber Dragon Nova. What you do basically is special summon Cyber Dragon, normal summon Dre. Dre's effect will activate, all Cyber Dragons become level 5, and you Xyz from there. Also, with all 3 of these Cyber Dragon cards, each of their, for Core and Dre, while they're on the field or in the graveyard, their names are Cyber Dragons. So, excuse me. So they make for an easy way to power bond into Cyber Twin Dragon, if need be as well. But a single Cyber Dragon Dre, and also once banished, and or if you use Dre's effect. If you use Dre's effect of level manipulation, you can't special summon any of the monsters for the rest of this turn, except for machine type monsters. But that's not really a problem, because every monster in this deck is machine based anyway, so that side effect isn't hindered at all. Also, once Dre is banished, you can target a Cyber Dragon out on the field, whether it be Core, Cyber Dragon, or another Cyber Dragon Dre, if you wanted to. Once banished, it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects, which helps in the long run as well. But I only chose to run 2 Cyber Dragon Dre's. 2 Cyber Valleys, much like how I explained it in part 1. I want to at least prevent my opponent from attacking, end their battle phase, and I get to draw off of it. Also, I can banish this and another monster out on the field to get 2 draws off of it, which helps in the long run as well. Also, if and while banished, I can special summon this card back with Cyber Network. Even though you don't get to use Cyber Valley's effect again due to Cyber Network's effect for special summoning all light attribute machines, I can still tribute them for a tribute summon for, say, Ancient Yugioh Dragon, another Cyber Dragon, or Machina Fortress. So that really helps in the long run, especially to get out Ancient Yugioh Dragon if and when I'm able to. But 2 Cyber Valleys works really well. I probably could have put in the third one, but I feel like 2 works all right in this deck. And also, it's a machine, and this and a Machina Fortress, discard Fortress and Cyber Valley if you feel you don't need Cyber Valley, and just special summon out Fortress from there. So that also helps in the long run as well. From the Machina structure deck, out of multiples of those, only chose to run the core Machina engine, which is Fortress and Gear Frame. But I only chose to run 2 Fortresses because, like I said, I see myself going into Cyber Dragon more than I see myself going into Fortress. Fortress is also just freaking phenomenal, especially with his effects. When he's destroyed by battle, I get to destroy a card, and when he's targeted by a monster effect, I can look at my opponent's hand and send a card from their hand to the graveyard. But Fortress is just a beast when he gets out on the field, and also for summoning him a bunch as well. Because if you have the resources to special summon Fortress as much as you can, Fortress is pretty much not going anywhere. And then the 3 gear frames, the only main searcher to search out Machina Fortress And for it being a union monster, I can equip it to either one of my machines and give them an extra shield from the destruction effects or battle. And then from the Ancient Gear structure deck, I chose to only run the 2 Yugioh Dragons, 3000 beater, why not? A level 8 machine, an easy discard fodder for Machina Fortress, and special summon him out. He is tribute summonable. Like I said, I can tribute summon any of my monsters that I summon off of Cyber Network, or if I have enough monsters out on the field already, I can tribute summon for Yugioh Dragon there. And as well, I can special summon him from the graveyard with Call of the Haunted if need be as well. But 2 Yugioh Dragons works really well in the deck. Easy discard fodder for Fortress, and probably one of my favorite Ancient Gear cards next to Gear Town. Though it's kind of sad that Gear Town never came in the Ancient Gear structure deck, but but Gear Town came after Ancient Gears were irrelevant. But Ancient Gears are still good, don't get me wrong. And then I only chose the one Solar Windjammer. I already mentioned the basic combo I can do with this and Cyber Dragon Dre. Otherwise, I can just discard him and Fortress or another machine to get Fortress out on the field. And then all the spells are pretty self-explanatory. Limiter removal wins games. If you don't win the game off of limiter removal, I don't know what's wrong with you. Limiter removal just wins you games. It doubles the attack of all machines you control. And it doesn't say double the original attack. It just says double the attack of all machines. And during the end phase, though, all monsters affected by this are destroyed. But say, for example, if I have Cyber Dragon out and I know summon Dre, if I just have those 2 out, I activate limiter removal, attack with both of them, and if their attacks go through, I can just overlay into Cyber Dragon Nova, and they're not really, the materials aren't destroyed, nor is the new monsters that are summoned after limiter removal's activation. But limiter removal wins games, hands down, end of story. Machine duplication, this is pretty self-explanatory between this and Cyber Dragon Core. Activate this on Core, and since Core while on the field is treated as Cyber Dragon, you can special summon out 2 regular Cyber Dragons from your deck. So machine duplication, pretty awesome in that aspect. And if I have a Cyber Valley on the field, I can use this to summon the other copy of Cyber Valley to the field if need be. But the main target is going to probably be Cyber Dragon Core for machine duplication. Power Bond, like last video, I don't see myself fusion summoning Cyber Twin Dragon much, but it's there. It's there when I need it. It doubles the attack power of my machine type fusion monster by its original attack. So once Cyber Twin Dragon comes out off of Power Bond, it's 5600. It's pretty much a 1-card OTK. If you connect with both attacks from Cyber Twin Dragon, that's well over 10,000 points of damage. More than enough to win you the game. I would say you should be a little careful when activating Power Bond because of its final effect, which is during the end phase of the turn this card is activation. You take damage equal to the amount of attack gained from Power Bond's effect. So if you somehow don't win the game off of Cyber Twin Dragon, if you left your opponent with, say, about 1,000 life points left, at the end phase you'll be taking 2,800 points of damage, unless you get Cyber Twin Dragon off of the field, and then Power Bond's effect is irrelevant, because the fusion summoned monster has to be on the field in order for Power Bond's negative effect to take effect. But if the fusion monster's gone, that effect doesn't happen. So, but I see myself summoning Cyber Twin Dragon through Nova's effect more often than I see myself using Power Bond or Super Polymerization, in a sense. But Power Bond works really well. Solidarity, all monsters in this deck are machine-based, so Solidarity makes sense. 2 Cyber Repair Plans, you can use this while the Cyber Dragon's out on the field, or, excuse me, while Cyber Dragon's in the graveyard. I can activate the first effect, which is add a light monster, or I can activate one of these effects. I can add a light machine type monster to my hand from the deck, or target a light machine type monster in my graveyard and shuffle that back into the deck. Or if I have 3 Cyber Dragons, I can activate both their effects. So Repair Plant, 2 of them, works fine. 2 Shrink. I can use this during the damage step, target my opponent's monster, and their monster's attack will be cut in half and quite possibly get destroyed by battle, and they'll take damage. Shrink really helps in the long run here. 2 Evolution Burst, 2 spell versions of Raigeki Break. Your only requirement for this card is you need a Cyber Dragon out on the field instead of discarding a card. But once you have a Cyber Dragon out on the field, activate and target 1 card and destroy it on your opponent's side of the field. Its other side effect is Cyber Dragons can attack the turn you activate this card. But that's fine, because unless you don't mind waiting a turn, you can just get rid of your Cyber Dragons either through Tribute, through Fusion Summon, or through Xyz Summon. Because say if you have 2 Cyber Dragons out on the field while you activate this, after this card's activation, you can just overlay the 2 Cyber Dragons into Cyber Dragon Nova. So that side effect doesn't hurt much. Doesn't hurt as much as it would for another version of Cyber Dragon deck. But 2 Evolution Bursts really helps in getting rid of problematic cards or monsters, and just awesome, really awesome overall. The 3 Mysticals, pretty generic spell and trap removal. Compulse, pretty generic as well. I only chose to run 1 Cyber Network, mainly because I don't see myself using this card as much. If I was using only 3 copies of the Cyber Structure deck, I would run multiples of Cyber Network. But as you can see, I don't have very many light machines that would be banished into the banish pile. And mainly because I have a lot of other monsters that are Earth attribute as well. But once this effect gets off, sorry about that. But anyways, it's destroyed during your 3rd standby phase after activation. But once per turn, if Cyber Dragon is on your field or is on the field, you can banish 1 light machine from your deck. That helps in the special summoning effect of Network once it's destroyed or once it leaves the field. And that effect is when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, special summon as many of your banished light machine type monsters as possible, and if you do, destroy your entire back row. So unless you have nothing else in your back row, this card is freaking phenomenal. Otherwise, it could hinder you a little bit if you have Call of the Haunted, Deep Prison, or Trap Suns out on your back row. I would recommend that you save this card until you use up your other resources first, and then use Network. But a single Cyber Network has worked pretty well in this deck. And I don't see any reason why I should run multiples of this. Could see a little bit on running maybe 2, but 1 works perfectly fine. The 1 Metal Morph you can activate during the damage step. Once your monster attacks an opponent's monster, besides the 300 attack point boost that Metal Morph gives from its first effect, you can activate this card. This card's effect will activate in the damage step. Your monster gains half of the target's attack. So say, for example, if my Cyber Dragon attacks Blue Eyes, Metamorph will activate, and it'll allow my Cyber Dragon to gain 1,500 points of damage. 1,500 attack point boost, so that's really awesome. Metamorph is a freaking awesome old school card, and it's a really awesome card of that as well. But a single Metamorph works fine in the deck. And then 2 Call Hunteds, like I said, use this to special summon out Yugioh Dragon, and or I can special summon out Fortress or Cyber Dragon, or even Cyber Twin Dragon, as long as it was fusion summoned. D-Prisons, generic monster removal, and then the 2 Trap Stones. I want to, if I have all the combos I need to pull off a win right then and there for a single turn, Trap Stone just really helps. It helps in the long run. It prevents my opponent from activating his traps, prevents those traps being used against me. In basic sense, Trap Stone is basically an OTK share of approval. This ensures your OTKs will go off without a doubt, unless you're stopped by hand traps, such as Battle Fader or Swift Scarecrow. And then the Cyber Dragon Novas and Cyber Twin Dragons, pretty generic. Well, anyways, guys, this is my 3 Machine Madness value box deck. I built a single deck out of 3 value boxes. Let me know in the comments what you think of this build. I would like to, if you guys want to give me any ideas on what I could do to change up the deck a bit, I'm all open to that. If you guys want to take on this Machine Madness Value Box Challenge, either through Part 1 or for this one, which is Part 2, leave me video responses or links to your builds down in the description bar as well. I mean in the comments, in the comment section. Let me know in the comments what you think of this build, what you think of this 2-part series of a deck building challenge. Like this video if you like seeing unique videos such as this one. And also subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. And I guess that's it for now. Thank you for watching, guys.